Welcome to part 1 of Let's Beat Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. This will be a 7-part series. Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis is definitely one of my favorite games. It's actually not the first Sonic game I played though. The first Sonic game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Me and my cousins used to play the heck out of the multiplayer on that, and then wasn't terribly good at the game when I was a kid. But I'd watch my aunt get all the way through the game, and when I was finally old enough and got my own Sega Genesis, Sonic 2 was one of the first games I got for it. I actually had no idea that Sonic 1, I didn't know much about the game, but finally picked it up, and it's tough, but it might be one of my favorite games. Out of the original Sonic trilogy. Big fan of Sonic CD and Sonic 2, not so much of Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But here we are, Green Hill Zone, the very classic Sonic first level, very green, got the loop-de-loops there. So with this playthrough, not really going to do a super play. I'm going to try and get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, but I'm not going to go through and find every secret there is or anything like that. Kind of just play through at a normal pace. So stuff like this was pretty amazing, because it was so fast. It was so much faster than the Mario games on the original NES, or even Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. But, listen to that music. So here we go. What I'm going to do on the first few levels here is really milk the rings. It's very easy to get 100 rings. I'll build up a small stockpile of lives so I can get through to the end of the game. So that was Act 1. I talked over most of it, but if you have at least 50 rings when you get to the end, you'll have that big ring appear, and then you'll get to the bonus stage here. So the whole goal of this, it's like a rotating maze, using some clever sprite tricks, and we're gone. Using some clever sprite tricks to kind of mimic the Super Nintendo Mode 7, since the Genesis couldn't do real rotation. I'm sure it probably could, but it wasn't easy. So here's Act 2 of Green Hill Zone. And the way the original Sonic works is there's 3 acts for each zone. So this is Green Hill Zone, Act 2, and then the third act will actually have a boss battle. So in the Green Hill Zone here, a lot of the trees have things in them. So here's kind of a secret area that you can get to. Kind of takes you to the bottom of the map. You have all those bonus rings down there. Picked up the speed shoes, which then makes the music go fast along with Sonic, which is a pretty cool trick. Again, I don't think that's something you could do on the Super Nintendo since it was all sample-based, where this is actually sound being generated by the Genesis and the FM chip and all of that. So let's talk a little bit about, excuse me, how we're recording here. I'm actually using a Sega Nomad, since my Sega CDX is kind of on the fritz. I'm actually very impressed. The video quality here is pretty good. We have a little bit of vertical banding, and I think that's has something to do with capacitors and resistors, either in the Genesis or the cable itself. But my Nomad seems to be the best piece of Genesis hardware I have. The audio is pretty good, decent amount of bass, none of the Sega Model 2 tinniness that you get sometimes. So the sound here is pretty good, the video is pretty good. The D-pad on the... there we go, we got the 50 rings again. The D-pad on the Nomad is alright, the screen isn't terribly good. But basically we're taking RGB out of the Nomad, pumping that into an XRGB Mini, and then from the XRGB Mini, feeding it into an Elgato Game Capture HD. So here we have the second of the special stages. It's kind of unfortunate. I wish that if you had, we missed the Chaos Emerald on the last special stage. I wish it would then repeat that level so I could get that easy one. So it's kind of like a maze here, a rotating maze, and I keep hitting up, which makes everything go faster, and I'm struggling to get down here. So we make it, And now we can see the Chaos Emerald there. And you have to break those little gems. You have to hit them like 3 or 4 times and then they will break. But because it's rotating, it's hard. So I'm trying to get up in there. And, oh, we almost lost it. If you hit one of those goalposts, the level ends as we saw last time. So here I'm stuck in a loop where I keep bumping the R, which reverses the playfield. And so now I get into a new part, desperately trying to get at that Chaos Emerald. And I'm really not sure. I played this yesterday, so I don't remember which of these special stages I beat. All I know is looking at this, I am struggling pretty good. So the background's changing, doing all sorts of cool things. And I've broken a million gems, but none in the same spot. The physics in here are kind of wonky too. Oh, it looks like we made it. Alright, so we got our first Chaos Emerald. Now I'm not sure if you're actually going to be able to see the emerald when this exports. Sometimes you... Let's see, because this video is 30 frames a second, and the game runs at 60 frames a second. The emeralds there actually flicker. So you're either going to see it or you're not going to see it. If you're playing on a real TV, it would kind of look almost transparent with the flicker. So now we are on to Act 3 of Green Hill Zone. I like Green Hill Zone a lot because there's so much depth to the level. There's like a lower path, a middle path, and an upper path. And I don't know why, I don't know if other people play it as well, but I always try to stay as high up in the level as possible. It always felt like there were more goodies up there. More ring boxes, more... Oh, got the speed shoes again. More ring boxes, more platforming, more rings. I'm not sure how true that actually is, though. So I'm not sure how many of you have actually not played this game. You really should play it on the original hardware. Sega Genesis emulation is always a little off, especially with the sound. But this was available in a million compilations, the Wii Virtual Console. You can get it as a bonus item on Sonic Generations. I think you can get it from the Xbox Live and PlayStation Network stores, iPods and iPads, Android store. But this is how I prefer to play it, on real hardware. And the Genesis controller's D-pad is one of the best, so that always helps. So you can see here, especially in the light blue areas, the vertical banding, where it kind of looks like there's a vertical line going through it, which actually isn't there. So I always thought that was a cool touch too, those spikes. I like the pseudo 3D look to the trees and to the level, and that's why I really didn't... Something about that really appeals to me, and that's something that Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles didn't seem to have. That art style was almost lost a little bit as they try to make things look more realistic. So what's also nice with the RGB is we can see a lot of detail that you don't normally see, like the wings right there. You can see how they're kind of a checkerboard pattern, or even the shield that Sonic has right now. So I have 86 rings. I kind of wanted to find 14 more so I could get another life, but decided not to. So the boss battles in this game are actually all fairly easy. We saw we got a ton of cheap shots at him when he was coming down, and he's kind of like that throughout. And as a kid I didn't really notice it, or didn't figure it out, but now playing through it, you just get a bunch of cheap shots early and call it a day. So we're winding down here. Stay tuned for part 2, and thank you so much for watching.